Hello and welcome to Music Theory, episode 7. Today we're on a subject that I truly enjoy. Last lesson we had major scales, how to work them out using tones and semitones, link in the description if you haven't seen that. This lesson we're on triad chords. Now, as always, I write an article on the lesson, so if you need to do a bit more revision, want to see stuff a little bit more in depth, please head over to my website. You can find a link below for that, along with the worksheets when you join the school. But let's get straight to it. We've got triads. Triads are chords made up of 3 notes. Much like a tricycle has 3 wheels and a triangle has 3 points, a triad has 3 notes. The 4 basic triads are the major, the minor, the diminished and the augmented. And the major is the most common one. If you've learnt how to work out a major scale, hopefully by now you understand the concept of playing C major. It's just all the white notes from C to C. In a later episode I'll actually get onto how to use the correct fingers, but for now all you have to need to know is what notes are actually within the scale. So you find your scale that you want this particular chord to be on, and we're going for major at the moment, and you turn all those notes into numbers. So we had C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. To make a major chord, it's just notes 1, 3 and 5. Played together at the same time, and we've got a very positive, very bright sound. C, E and G. If I was to do this on, say, another scale, let's go for D major. That's got 2 sharps, and that's D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. We find notes 1, 3 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, a very happy sound. You can find these happy sounds anywhere on the piano for any and every major scale. Every scale has these chords hidden within it. You just need to know the formula. In this case, it's really 1 plus 3 plus 5. Don't work it out like a maths equation, just play 1 plus 3 plus 5. And there's your major chord. The major chord is inherently a happy and positive sound. You just want to sort of visualize that in your head when you hear it. The reason why I'm telling you this is that you might get to a point where you can hear a piece of music and work out what chords are being played just by the tone that you hear. It's quite a good skill to have, so just think about it when you're playing these. The next chord we've got is the minor. That's made up of 1, flat 3 and 5. This is all based off of a major scale to begin with, so make sure you've got that down. Convert the notes to numbers, and 1, flat 3, 5 gives you this sad tone. When chords are written down in a piece of music, they are given shorthand forms. You'll see them just above the notes normally. If it's a major chord, it will just be the letter of the chord. Literally, it will just say, if it wants you to play C major, it'll just be a C. If it wants you to play C minor, like we just did, it will be a C and then a lowercase m straight afterwards. And you'll know that means the root note is C, and you'll need the notes 1, flat 3 and 5 to make up that minor chord. Again, can be positioned anywhere. So let's say we had the G minor symbol displayed and we think, right, now we've got to work out where G minor is. We've got the G major scale. It's got an F sharp in it. And if we go 1, 3, 5, we've got our major. 1, flat 3, 5, we've got our minor. That's the only difference, one note in the middle between happy and sad. So, we've got 2 more chords. We've got the diminished and we've got the augmented. The diminished chord is sort of found within the minor. You start off with the 1, flat 3 and 5, and then you flatten the 5th note as well. It's a chaotic sound. That's the way I think about it. It's just evil. Yep, it's evil. There's nothing pleasant about it. If you think about it, the minor could be evil, but it's more of a I'm sad sound. It's not nasty on the ears, whereas the diminished definitely is. There's nothing about that that says I'm sad, but it's okay because I'm sad. It's more like I'm sad, I'm going to do something about it and it's going to be a bad thing. That's the way you should hear it anyway, when you hear it in a piece of music. The next one we've got is the augmented, and that comes from the major. We start off with 1, 3 and 5. And we sharpen the 5th. This is a very questioning chord. It doesn't sound particularly dark, Doesn't sound particularly happy, but it raises some questions. That's the way I think about it anyway. So to recap, we've got the major, happy, the minor, sad, the diminished, chaotic, and the augmented being a bit of a question. 1, 3, 5 for the major, 1 flat 3, 5 for the minor, 1 flat 3, flat 5 for the diminished, and 1, 3 sharp 5 for the augmented. The diminished chord is written as the root note, so in this case it would be C, followed by dim, D-I-M in lowercase to represent diminished. The augmented, on the other hand, is the root note C with a plus symbol directly afterwards. Every chord basically has a shorthand, and these are the basis of all the complicated and the nasty chords that you may come across in the future. But if you get the basics down, then it's just a case of expanding your knowledge a little bit later and it will be fairly easy. In which case, let me just check that you've got the fundamental concepts. 1 flat 3 5 gives us a minor chord, yes? Yes. So I'm speaking for you, apparently. So if we had D major, which is normally D, F sharp and A to give us our major chord, all we'd have to do is flatten that third note. And we're on a black note already, which means we're going down a semitone to a white note, which then gives us our minor chord. Don't ever think that the minors are made up of black notes or the majors are made up of white notes. It's completely dependent on the scale. Treat them all equally. So if we had F sharp major, that starts off as all 3 black notes. If we make it minor by flattening that third, we've got a black note, a white note, a black note. Let's find one more curious one. Let's say it's B flat. B flat major is a black note and 2 white notes. Flatten the third, 2 black notes and a white note. So you find these chords from their original major scales. So I know the F sharp major scale as, which gave me 1, 3 and 5, and then 1 flat 3, 5. Same for all the other chords, same for B flat, all this and all that. You get to the point where you've learned all the major scales on every white note, on every black note, and then because of that you can very easily translate to actually just playing the chords from whatever scale it is quite happily, and from a memorization point of view it's just instantly there. It's a muscle memory thing. In which case I truly recommend getting the major scales down first and then practicing finding those major chords, the minor chords, the diminished chords and the augmented chords, because later we will be adding more notes to these things and you will get slightly lost if you haven't got these down already. So I hope that all made sense. If you've got any questions, anything at all, please put it in the comments. Any suggestions for videos that you want to see, again, put it in the comments. You can join my school where you can find the worksheets for this. There's a link in the description. And if you want to do any more revision, you can also find the article. There's a link in the description for that too. I think that's pretty much covered everything. So don't forget, we got a major, which is happy, minor, which is sad, diminished, which is chaotic, and the augmented, which is questionable at best. So stay motivated, keep practicing, and I will see you in music theory number 8. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more piano lessons and music theory and maybe a bit of a roll of a dice.